Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to talk about the Skagit River now for part 2 of the Sockeye series here. It is the second day of summer, June 22nd, and sockeye are just starting to trickle into our rivers. There's actually some been in the river traps already, which is great news for an early part of the season. As these rivers start to drop, once snow melt's starting to kind of even itself out, we're going to have a lot better bite opportunity, but this is a great chance to get out some of these early fish, and the Skagit are awesome because they are a lot bigger fish than the Columbia. Their genetics wise are a lot bigger, feistier, and really cut well. So we're going to talk about two different types of fishing here. Just like we did in the Columbia series, we're talking about bank fishing and boat fishing. Starting with bank fishing, you need a couple essentials. A good rod holder that really will help you secure a good station on the bank for you to put your gear. You're going to need medium heavy to heavy steelhead rod. Really is all you need for the Skagit, because like the Columbia, the Skagit fish run really shallow. And these fish in particular, it might be a rod's length, 8 to 10 feet off the bank, that you literally just drop your bait off your rod tip. So I'm just using my typical salmon steelhead setup, 20 to 25 pound test mainline, running down to where I have a dual lock snap swivel and a spreader bar. Now you can get a lot of fancy ones out there, but just like I've shown in the other video, it's the same Danielson spreader bar there. Works great, has a quality swivel that works well on both sides, and I can then just clip on my weight that I want. Now if I'm going to be fishing the Skagit River, you have a lot more boulders and rocks, so the weights that I use have to be picked a little bit more carefully, because if I'm going to be casting our typical pyramid weights way out into the middle of the river where there's a lot of current, you're going to hang these up every time. Trust me, I've gone down there trying different couple spots that were too rocky, and it was just sacrificing lead cast after cast. Now you can go something more like these Dave's Tangle free weights that really work well because of the coating they have on them. If you're fishing some of the bar areas like Young's Bar or some of these different ones in Mount Vernon, you've heard names possibly like that, you can get away with a little bit different weights because it's more sand and gravel. You could probably even still use the pyramid weights without a problem, but some areas are going to be more rocky and some areas are going to be a little bit more snaggy because of that. So these fish are going to run shallow, so keep that in mind. You don't have to launch it all the way out into the middle of the river. After you've picked out your weights and you have a good rigging set up, I like in the Skagit to really just run one rig. The Columbia River you can run multiple, no doubt about it, but with the Skagit, running one, sometimes two, is totally fine. One just makes it easier, less stuff to deal with, less possibles to tangle, and off the bank you can run just a 2-hook setup, doesn't have to be barbless, and you can run quality bait and do very well. So one of the riggings, just like I showed in the Skagit River video here, is going to be a spinning glow in a size 4 or a size 6. I like to run a couple beads there. Olympic Tackle Kokanee Snack gives it a little bit extra flash in action. 3 other beads there. You have there's a 4mm and 2 5s and a sickle hook there. I will also throw in a stinger hook on some of my other rigs, and I throw a sand shrimp tail in between. So there's your rig right there. The flash of that Kokanee Snack really helps if your bait is getting picked apart, but you want something there bait wise because these fish are keen in on their smell as they hit the river. So a good quality bait, whether you're fishing sand shrimp or coon shrimp tails, I prefer the sand shrimp. They're readily available at your local tackle shops. You can go catch your own, and if you're interested in that, I can put the link to the video below on pumping your own sand shrimp. It's a lot of fun. You can go get your own sand shrimp and get yourself ready to go, and you get yourself ready to go. You've got your shrimp, you've got your rod, you got your plunking holder. You're gonna need a good little bell just so you can hear your fish. Mine's in the garage, so don't have it right out into the boat, but just a nice, it could be one of your cheap bells. You can make yourself one. You need something to indicate a bite, because you're generally not going to be looking at your rod when you get a bite. I recommend too, along with some good bait, you're going to want some good scent. And A&S Sporting makes some great ones here that I like to use with my shrimp, whether it's sand shrimp anise, straight sand shrimp. You got your sand shrimp, garlic, and your krill sticks, really to help out giving yourself just a little extra scent, because you're going to find yourself in a traveling lane and these fish are going to come flying through. You're going to see rods boom, 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 boom down the bank all get hit. So you want to make sure you have the best type of scent, best type of bait, and you're fishing in the right locations to really make yourself effective. Once you have that all dialed down, your color selection of spinning glows can really get yourself in a good position. Whether it's dark colors, light colors, the fish will help dictate to you what they want. These are all Yakima bait spinning glows. I prefer to go some of the like contrasting colors. Your pinks and purples, your red and silvers all work really well. Size 4 and size 6. Once you're off the bank, you're going to be hooking these fish really close to shore. You want to play them out well. Make sure that you're not horsing them in. They do have soft mouths. You can bank them if you feel justified to do so. You can also get yourself a decent quality net and have help getting that fish in. I would like to have somebody help net it, just because I've seen way too many fish use the leverage of that weight when they're right next to the bank and pop off. Now we can rotate over talking about boat fishing. The Skagit River is a huge river. There's a lot of places you can go to plunk out of a boat. With the boat, it gives you a little bit of an advantage. You can go travel different spots, try different things out, look for rolling fish. Bank fishing, you're limited to just a couple spots, and you pick and choose and hope the fish come to you. Boat guys, with that advantage, you're going to be anchoring up and fishing just like on the Columbia, but in the Skagit, you're almost putting your boat directly on the bank. That way your rods are sitting right off the back in that traveling lane. So be aware that you're going to be fishing really close to shore. And with that, you're going to need some good rod holders in your boat. I like Fulbies, really easy to use, but I know that my rods are secure when they're sitting in the holder. As far as gear goes for out of the boat, the same Salmon Steelhead medium heavy setup works great for you, but I use the same trolling rods that I do for Sockeye up at Baker Lake, or maybe even trolling up at Brewster. These are the Velocity Salmon Extreme Series, the 9-foot medium light. It's a 6 to 15 pound test line rated rod. You can cast 8 ounces of lead no problem. These rods have a great amount of backbone on them, and the boating rig is slightly different than that I use out of the bank. Paired up with a Velocity Recon reel here, it's a great combo to use because it serves its purpose for out of the boat for the Sockeye, and then once they get into the lake, all I do is just change the terminal end, and these exact same rigging will fish well. Now, out of the boat, I like to change up the way that the weight is rigged up. A lot of guys do fish that fixed rig, but I feel like out of the boat, if you can get away with the sliding rig, you can really be effective, because that fish will pick up your bait, not feel the weight, and can take off to give you a little bit longer of an opportunity to set the hook on them. So a snap swivel slider, just like this, works really well. And for my dropper, I actually do 2 sturgeon loops. It's going to kind of be hard to see there, but it's 8-pound test Iser line. And what I do is I do those 2 loops, because out of the boat I take my Dave's Tangle Free weight, I thread it through, and then all I honestly have to do is go back through the lead there, and that weight is on there. So if I happen to snag up on the bottom, this dropper will break free. I don't lose my rig. Makes it very simple, and if for whatever reason I'm looking to run to a different spot, I undo the snap, pull the line loop out, put it back in. I can set this in the gunnel of the boat. Now I can hook this back up to the rod and go. Very easy for weight changes, super simple. As far as mainline, I'm running 15-pound test iser out of the boat. I'm running that sliding swivel setup with a bumper bead to another little barrel swivel there. 20 or so inches of 15-pound to another Yakima bait spin and glow. This one happens to be a size 4 Nightmare, really killer pattern. Couple beads there, another Olympic Tackle Kokanee snack, 3 more beads, Gamakatsu 1/0 drop shot, and then a Eagle Claw laser sharp orange. That stinger hook right there is going to end up being crucial to a lot of those short strikes. And with the Skagit River fish, they're going to come up behind that and just nibble on it, and doom, you got them. So that addition of having the Olympic tackle skirt or a squid skirt, however you want it, gives it a little bit better profile and opportunity for those fish to really key in on your bait. And you spread your lines out in accordance on the boat, left side, right side, but you're sticking close to shore and close to that travel lane, so it really makes for a great opportunity at your fish. Same rules apply in terms of bait. Sand shrimp, coon shrimp tails, all those work really well out of the boat. Same sense. It's the same kind of deal as bank fishing, but now you're just able to lob out a cast 10-15 feet from the boat, drop it straight behind the boat. You can really do whatever you want. You have the opportunity to be in control when you're in a boat. As a bank, you're not granted as much fortune in that sense, and you have to cast up to where you want to be in the travel lane. You can anchor yourself in the boat to do so. A good net will help you guys get more fish in the boat, so I'd recommend something with an extendable handle. And really, guys, the fun is just getting out and started. I can't wait to get my boat or myself off the bank and try this out. This is one of the best fisheries to go do. You can take the whole family and go plunking. It's a lot of fun and really easy to do, not a lot of gear involved. So this is going to be good till it closes, guys, so I recommend getting out and trying it. It's only going to get better. And then once we switch over, once the closure happens, we hit Baker Lake and we hit the upper Columbia for some really good sockeye fishing as they all stack up. So stay tuned. We'll cover some more sockeye as they travel up the river. But thanks, guys, for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this video today. Take care and fish on.